Number one, your merchant processing fees get dramatically reduced by 50 to 75% off the top. Number two, you get your money instantly. So you're not waiting 3, 4, 5 days to get your money. Number three, we settle in your local currency instantly with no fees. So you're not taking as a business owner, you're not taking the market risk of accepting Bitcoin.
The TraderCobb Crypto Show, talking business in blockchain.
Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the TraderCobb Crypto Show. Today's guest, I've been trying to line up for quite some time now. He's a guy with a lot of experience in the business world and also trading world, which we'll touch on as well. I have got the CEO of Mobie. We're going to learn all about Mobie, what it is and what the platform's trying to achieve. It's Brandon Burgason. Thanks for your time out of Vegas.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be on the show.
Mate, looking forward to this one. I look forward to all of them. I'm going to tell you the truth. I say that to everybody. It's not just me.
That's awesome. I love it.
Mate, let's hear a bit about your background, because obviously, you have done quite a bit. I mean, you've been in product development, finance, marketing, a whole different range of positions, from working with Shanghai Fuel as a vice president. I mean, you've dealt with different heads of state. You've got a big background. So, tell us a bit about the progression into why you've come into this space, really.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, so I do have a diverse background. Essentially started when I was 19 in the mortgage and finance real estate side of the business. I actually built a mortgage company. It was a financial technology company called Rate First, and it's really directed at self-directed mortgages for consumers directly. And we just built a financial platform for them to find the best mortgage and the best rates, the best terms, all themselves, kind of like an e-insurance model, similar here in the US. So I went on to sell that company when I was 24, and then ended up working for a hedge fund. And it was a small $100 million fund, and they did physical delivery of commodities. So got to learn a lot about the commodity space, specifically oil, gas, and coal, and ended up being the right hand to the CEO of BBN Shanghai Fuel, which did directly, did work directly with governments like China, Cyprus. So I was able to, as the executive vice president, be in a lot of the calls and work on a lot of the logistics for that. Then the CEO and I started a trading company with about 20 plus traders. And we, back, I think it was 2012. We had about 20 traders working for us full time, and they were just getting in and out of trades. We developed a bot, and we did really well. We were making 25% return on our money. We're doing great. I really got my feet wet in the trading space. Actually went back into mortgages after that. Everything is a little bit cyclical here. So we were doing about $30 to $36 million a month in business. Actually sold my interest last year and focused 100% on Mobie. And really, because I have a big interest in music and in technology, I've always wanted to build something. I've been a nerd. I've been taking things apart since I was a kid. Graduated high school when I was 16 and really kind of got my feet wet in different things. And so lo and behold, I'm here today, and that's definitely something I believe that I was made to do. So I'm happy to be here today.
And it sounds to me like, tell me if I'm wrong here, but it sounds to me you've exited a couple of different companies. Looking at, having 20 full-time traders there, getting, multiple double-digit monthly returns consistently. That's a big fund. Whether it's a big financial fund or not, they're big results. So of course, even just with 100 million, that is still some significant amounts of money that are coming through. What made you get out of that sort of space? Was it just that you'd made enough and you kind of went, I want to do something that I want to do for a change?
It was, we made enough, and unfortunately there was some, partners, and we took a massive loss in one day, unfortunately, from a partner's bad trade. Went against the bots that we had built. So really took it hard. It was one of those losses that you learn from. And so we still have the technology and everything in place, but it just was something that, I had 3 kids and a wife, and I just wasn't able to do the highs and the lows so much. And so I wanted to be I want to be doing something that I had control over. I didn't have a bunch of partners. That's why I'm the sole founder of Mobie, and it's very, having partners is good, and sometimes it can be bad in certain situations. So happy to be in control of the helm and ready to push forward.
All right, so let's go straight to Mobie now. I mean, with your very diverse background, the points I want to sort of focus on is obviously product development, the finance side, as well as the marketing. Because, I mean, they're three cores that you need pretty much for any business in anything forever and ever and ever. Plus, you've got your trading background. Plus, you've got your executive background of what you've been working on with different companies. What's Mobie, and what's it trying to fix or fill?
Well, Mobie lets you easily spend or send crypto or cash anywhere in the world right from your mobile phone in seconds. So what we're doing is we're solving a lot of problems, primarily allowing cryptocurrency and to be used for everyday purchases. So what we've done is we've actually acquired some contracts that allows us to integrate directly at the POS systems at large retailers. So essentially you can use cryptocurrency, you can use Bitcoin, even Mobie coin at places like Target, CVS, directly at point of sale without the need of a bank account or a debit card. So that's one of the major problems we're trying to fix, and we're fixing with Mobie. Another is mainstream adoption. We fixed this problem by developing 3 different product suites. One is Mobie, which is the mainstream consumer wallet. We're going after, the Venmo users, the Cash App users, the PayPal users, anyone from teenager to grandma. Very easy to understand, no crypto in it whatsoever. Then we have Mobie X, which is the crypto side of things. This is where this is where we do all of our in-app exchange from cryptocurrency to cash instantly. So that's specifically for crypto users. It's a very niche demographic as far as adoption is concerned. And then we have Mobie Pay, which is the project name, but also this is the merchant gateway and the merchant side of things. So we believe going after all 3 segments and demographics individually will help us get mainstream adoption and have people, get on the platform. And, maybe 5-10 years down the line, we merge Mobie and Mobie X together, when it's more lucrative. But that's the strategy that we're going after. And it seems to be doing really well because we actually have some large mainstream partnerships in place. One of them alone brings 100,000 users active monthly to our platform, just straight USD, and they will be up to the 7-figure user base within 18 months. So that's just one partner, and we're excited about the opportunities that we have both in the mainstream world and also in the crypto world.
So, I mean, effectively, you sort of pointed out 3 different businesses or 3 different verticals off of the business, right? Yeah. One of them, it sounds like, being able to trade, use cash to pay as well as crypto to pay. I get that. That makes sense. It's on your phone. It's an app. Now, if I want to sell some Bitcoin to cash, for example, where does that cash get held? Because it sounds almost like there's a Mobie bank account sort of on your phone or in the wallet. I mean, how does that work?
Yeah, that's exactly it. So we, in the U.S. right now, we've gotten approved for our U.S. banking and custody. So we're in the process of integrating that front end application. Hopefully, we'll be live in the next 90 days or so.
Wow.
Working with third parties sometimes a little bit slower, but that will allow it to take custody of both U.S. dollars and actually 6 fiat currencies and about 15 cryptocurrencies that this bank will hold custody of. So it's a very strategic thing for us. We have already built our in-app exchange. So with the plug in our liquidity providers and this application, you can actually easily exchange Bitcoin to cash, and those US dollars are held essentially in that trust account with the bank. Yep, and you can transact just like any other. We do all that stuff in the background, but the user experience is very seamless.
Well, one of the questions that I had around that, I mean, getting the license for a bank, of course, there's a lot of insurance, a lot of custodial issues. There's a lot of, you've got to back up these accounts, right? I mean, I'm not sure the laws in Australia, but I know in the UK and Australia now, bank accounts have a deposit guarantee to the tune of, it depends on what country, about $200,000. And that was based off the back of the banks collapsing. The government will actually bail you out to the tune of $200K. Now, do you have something similar like that in the US to help clients feel much more comfortable?
Yes, it's FDIC insurance. So yes, it's the same type of insurance. I believe it's 250 to 300K, if I remember correctly, but it's been a while since I looked at that. But yes,
All right.
there's insurances in place.
So you do have that surety, you do have that ability to make people feel safe, because effectively, I mean, you're going to have a bank on your telephone, right?
Right, exactly. And on the crypto side, there's folks like Lloyd's of London that are issuing $100 million policies.
Yeah, they are.
The other risk side, but in regards to risk and compliance, it's just kind of an interesting segue, and I'll just take it here. The first person we brought on the team was a gentleman by the name of Brian O'Neill, and Brian O'Neill was formerly SEC and former chief counsel of the New York Stock Exchange, and executive director for JP Morgan Chase for global compliance. So from a regulatory framework, understanding how we can navigate in those waters in the U.S., but also understanding the bank regs, it's been great to have him to help us steer in those directions. And we also have some other great legal team on board to help with that. But a lot of people are very scared about doing business in the U.S. because the SEC, and we know if we do things the right way, we're positioned to take some market share, because a lot of our competition, especially in the crypto space, won't enter.
Yeah. So, I mean, whilst we're on that, I mean, I'll segue off of your segue. I mean, how you're doing a token offering, if I'm correct, is that right?
Yes, we are doing a token offering. We're doing a private token offering. It is Reg D compliant. 50, yes, it is Reg D compliant. So 100%, even if they do deem it a security, we're still okay, because we are only selling to accredited investors. So it's a very easy thing for us to do if you're doing it the right way. We spend a lot of money on legal documents to get there. So that's something that's important, but we're also doing traditional capital raise as well. We've actually have some commitments and stuff in place. So regardless of the token sale or not, we are moving forward. We have been initially approved for an IEO with OKEX. They're actually flying us as their VIP to Dubai next month to talk about that and potential investment and partnership, because they like the fact that we can integrate their token, which is something else I want to talk about. Our value proposition for other projects is pretty significant, because we can take other tokens and we can integrate them into our system, and those tokens or currencies can be used for everyday purchases at these retailers. We don't see a world where retailers accept 1,500 different coins. No. So our goal with Mobie and Mobie Coin is to be that pivot currency, and people can integrate directly with us and give another use case and some other supply and demand side economics for their token, have some micro transactions that help maybe stabilize it. But this is something that OKB is interested in, as well as a lot of other token projects to get their coin integrated. Okay.
Now, I'm looking on your website, Mobie, mobie.io. You says you got 500 global retailers, 225,000 plus retail locations, and 100,000 plus BT users. Now, I know you spoke to, I think you said Target before, or as we say in Australia, Target.
Target, yeah. We we tested with Target. Everything's working just fine. We're in the process of integrating with the retailers and finalizing that. But yeah, we have Target. We have a whole list of them. We're just not publicly coming out and talking about who all there are right now, because we're not trying to use that to, gain people to try to invest in us and use it as leverage. We want to do things the right way. So yeah, but we do have some big retailers involved, and some of that information we'll be announcing soon. But Target's one of them. CVS, big restaurant chains here in the U.S. And it's not just in the U.S., it's U.S. and Canada, and globally. We're talking about South America, Europe, Asia Pacific. And so we partner with a third-party company that has all these partnerships in place, and we have a patent pending of how we're able to utilize our platform with already existing POS systems. And as we do that, we're also going to build on top of those relationships and go directly after the small, medium-sized businesses to utilize our checkout feature to accept any form of currency, even crypto, in any form of checkout, whether it be physical or online.
So let's say I'm a small business here in Australia, a restaurant as an example, right? And somehow I find Mobie and I sign up for Mobie. How's that going to make my life better? Am I going to save on transactions? I mean, the volatility of the token might be something I'm scared of. How does it benefit me as a business owner?
That's a great question. So there's a lot of different benefits to that. So number one, your merchant processing fees get dramatically reduced by 50 to 75% off the top. Number two, you get your money instantly. So you're not waiting 3, 4, 5 days to get your money. Number three, we settle in your local currency instantly with no fees. So you're not taking as a business owner, you're not taking the market risk of accepting Bitcoin. That's all done by the user, depending on what kind of currency they want to use when purchasing the item. Number four, we eliminate chargebacks completely. So it's a $71 billion a year issue that's plaguing the entire world. It's 36, I think, billion alone in the US. So there's a lot of chargeback fraud. So we eliminate that. We also give the merchants a back end to our proprietary data and marketing platform, which we have a joint venture with a large data company that provides this data that you can't get anywhere else but our platform. And last but not least, we actually have a revenue model for those merchants. So if a merchant were to sign up with us and then they were bring Mobie users to our platform, we actually share our revenue from the participating retailers. So every merchant wants to sign up, and this is the same thing that we're doing for all of our partners. There's no way they don't want to work with us because we save the money, we get them to them instantly, we reduce risk, it's more secure, and they make a revenue model. So it's what I call the Godfather offer. It's an offer they can't refuse.
Yeah, no, I hear it, and that's the way business gets done. Is when you basically help someone get what they want, whilst you get what you want. It makes it a pretty simple transaction, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the fundamental basis of everything. How I approach it is, what can I do to help you? And I know in return, it's just natural. It'll come back to me.
I understand. Look, I see that you're in the beta stages right now. You can sign up for the beta wallet, for which I have actually gone through the process. Very simple, by the way. Well, when's it ready? Like, when are you going to? I know when is how long is a piece of string thing when it comes to these sorts of things. But when are you aiming to be to market and ready to rock and roll?
So everything's built out. So the entire back end's built out. Everything from the multi-currency wallet to our SDKs, our APIs, the bones are built. The only thing that we're doing now to have a live beta, a public beta, is the retailer integrations and the banking integrations. Unfortunately, those are third parties that take their time doing things, and you're dealing with banks. So, best case scenario, we should be live by February 1st. That's kind of our target. It could be delayed by a month here and there, just, depending on, the third party situation, but everything's ready to go. So we are actually waiting, and we already have partnerships that are starting to integrate our APIs and SDK kits into their system. So when we are go live, we can just turn the switch and we can start, onboarding these users and begin our public beta.
And you're looking at OKX as being a potential listing partner. I hear, like, from what you said before, by the sounds of things, potentially. I just say potentially.
Potentially, yeah. We're initially approved with them, and we're just going through the final stages to see what everything looks like. We just want to make sure that if there's any adjustments to token economics or metrics, that it's not going to, put our pre-sale investors or private investors in a bad place, which is some of the other exchanges, I won't name them, decide to do, and we just won't do that, and that's not right to me. And so, at the end of the day, our project is going to succeed because we have 9 different revenue models. We have a legitimate business. We have a massive user adoption strategy. We have revenue from coin integration. So even if we didn't take an investment for the rest, at all, we can still survive and build our business, which makes it, it mitigates a lot of the risk of getting to market.
Okay, Randall, look, one of the things that I struggle with when it comes to investing in crypto assets, whether it be, at the pre-sale or whether it be just on exchange and it's been trading for years, is how do we do fundamentals? And, I'm fortunate that I get to speak to the people like yourself, and I get to ask about revenue models. What is your biggest revenue model from what you see going forward? Where does the rubber hit the road and you start actually getting to revenue?
So we're pretty much revenue positive day one because we have pre-negotiated agreements with our retailers, and they actually pay us on every transaction because we're driving traffic to their stores and we're utilizing that data. So we have a pre-negotiated for each individual retailer that brings us revenue. So day one, if we have 1,000 users on the platform and they're starting to shop, we're bringing in revenue that day. And that's number one. Number two, in the short term, our revenue is the coin integration. So we charge, an amount to these projects that obviously have a lot of money that want to integrate their token to be used on the platform. Again, they pay us, they have some great PR, but we also share the revenue with them. So it's a very easy thing for us to do. And then we have 9 total. So we will make money on the exchanges. We'll make money on the data. The data is probably the biggest thing for us in the long term is mobile payment data. And that's by far the most valuable data in the world. I just ask WeChat and Alipay and look at China's growth, and it's largely due to mobile payment data. So we're excited about everything. We do have a very systematic strategy from short-term revenue to long-term. As we get more users on the system, more and more data will be valuable. But it's great. And most successful companies try to have 5 to 7 revenue models. We have a clear 9. And from one of them includes cross-border remittance, which is a key component of why we decided to use Stellar as our native token of building MobieCoin on.
Okay, fantastic. Well, that information, around your revenue models and what it is, I'm assuming that that's available if one was to register to be what's the word that you use over there? A sophisticated investor is what we use here.
Accredited investor.
Accredited investor. So you're targeting accredited investors in the US, but globally, I think it just falls under whatever jurisdiction it is, correct?
Yeah, accredited investors, they have different terminology. Essentially, it's the same for, the US and the UK. I forgot the difference in the UK, or not necessarily the EU, of what that is. But yeah, we have all that information. It is on our website in our slide deck. A lot of that information is there, all the revenue models, and we do deliver, financial forecasts to our accredited investors to show them those assumptions and the data that supports it.
Fantastic, Brandon. Well, is there anything else that you think we've missed that you'd like to tell us about? Obviously, we want to know where to find out more, but anything before then?
Well, I think the biggest thing I like to portray is that what we're trying to do is create a sharing economy, and we've utilized this very unique revenue model to share and to get user adoption. So the biggest problem in the US is mobile payment user adoption. Tencent, which owns WeChat Pay, tried to get in the US. There's just no incentives for people to pull out their phone, and they have credit cards with points. Yeah. So we think we fixed that problem in the US, which is a big deal. But it's also about what are you doing with the rewards that you're getting back? And we're building a mechanism where you can pretty much instantly give to a charity, whether it be in rounding up or allocating your rewards to charity. And that's the thing. We're giving people a reward that hopefully they'll do some good with it and give it to different charities. And we making it frictionless. And we're looking to build some transparency utilizing blockchain and the charity space, which is a big thing for me. And it's my purpose is to not just make money, but it's also to make money to give back and to do things and build different ways where people can give and it can be, and it's, where the money's going. And that's a big problem I think needs to be fixed in this space. And hopefully I believe blockchain will help resolve some of those issues.
Mate, well, it sounds certainly to me like a very exciting project, Mobie.io, and it's MOBIE.io. Where else do we find more information, mate? You got Twitter and all that sort of social stuff, Telegrams, all that?
Yeah, I do. Actually, the website for the project is going to be MobiePay.io. So MOBIE Pay, PAY.io. That has all the information. All right, cool. And that's the best. You can log in or you can get connected with our Telegram community there. All of our socials are there as well. Typically the handle is at Mobie Pay. So you'll find everything there. And we're excited. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and ping us in Telegram, and one of our community managers will get back to anyone that's inquiring.
Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure, Brandon. It's Brandon Burgason of Mobie. He is the CEO coming out of Vegas for an event there. Thank you so much for making the time to speak with us, mate. I'll certainly be going and having a look in a lot more detail. Very interesting project. Thanks for your time, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye.
The TraderCobb Crypto Show, talking business in blockchain.